Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. This is our Instagram Live with the Faculty of Business Administration. So I'm going to introduce Professor Dohan and Professor Hardie. These are two of your instructors from the Faculty of Business Administration that you'll encounter when you start here at Lakehead. So I'm going to flip it over to them and they can get started.
Hello everyone, hi, I'm Tim Hardie. I'm Associate Professor in Faculty of Business Administration, and I deliver and teach the first year fall undergraduate Introduction to Management course, the Business 1011 course.
Hi, my name's Mike. Call me Mike. I teach Business 1013, Business Computing. So we'll see you in September online in that class.
Great, and we'll go to Shannon for some questions, and then we'll fill in some context after.
Excellent. So I'm going to stay behind the camera here, but I will toss out some questions to Professor Hardie and Professor Dohan. And if you have questions in the meantime that we don't get to, feel free to email ssc@lakeheadu.ca and we'll get those answered for you. So the first question, can you two talk a little bit about what the difference between synchronous and asynchronous delivery is?
Synchronous delivery is this is a good question because people are confused about how the courses are delivered and what is online and in person and everything like that. Synchronous, all that means is that the instructor and the students are meeting at one time. It could be synchronous online or synchronous in person or synchronous both. Asynchronous would be more of a self-study direction where the instructor would give you the materials and then you'd have to complete them hand in hand, and there's really no kind of class time. I think though if you ask other professors, then they might say something slightly different, but yeah, if it's synchronous, it means you will be meeting together at once.
Right, and you'll notice on the Business 1011 course and the Business 1013 course, they are scheduled, which means there's definitely a synchronous element. And part of what Mike and I are doing is combining some of the elements of our courses because they complement each other from kind of a pure management point of view and a technology aspect as well. And again, part of the small classes, high contact with the instructors that you get here at Lakehead and the Faculty of Business especially, is that we can work with the students and see where the issues are. Again, we don't know what's going to happen all the way through the fall semester kind of thing, so we have a date and a time and a scheduled meeting time. Part of that is to really, to make sure that there's some level of routine there. We're used to, 3 hours of contact with students per week in a 12-week semester, 36 contact hours is a standard half course at Lakehead University. And again, Mike and I have traditionally always had things like guest speakers come in at a specific date and a specific time. We want to maintain that scheduling ability to make sure we know when things are happening. Obviously, it allows us to space out material throughout the 12 weeks as well. We don't want students to be overburdened, but again, we've done this enough. We want to have a kind of a slow, steady start, help students make sure they're enrolled properly, first of all, then get into the course, and we use the Desire to Learn, the D2L, as our kind of online platform for course materials. So again, Mike has his own site, I have a site. We're doing synchronization with that, so we're doing material going back and forth. Integration, which is really what we're striving for, and we have the ability to do that, which gives an overall better learning experience. Trying to get beyond the textbook, right? Like there's a background in a first year courses where you need the fundamentals in order to be successful in the rest of your program. Mike and I made another video a couple of weeks ago. It's posted, you can find it on the site, where we do talk about kind of the building blocks of our program, the first year of a program. Again, everybody comes in transitioning from previous education into university with some expectations of how structured is it going to be, can I talk to my professor, does my professor know my name, this kind of thing. Obviously, it's all new territory here. We're used to, classrooms that are basically, classes that are, the largest we have is 57 students. So I can see everybody's eyes, I know where you are, and after you sit in a seat for, 3 classes in a row, when you're absent, your seat is empty, taking attendance is quite simple. So this, we're in a new territory here with, when are you logging on, what are you doing, what are you preparing for, what how are you preparing yourself before you log on next time? Again, looking at, we've got a whole bunch of other courses along with our courses too, right? So we're trying to make it easier and simpler, reinforcing each other's work, and making sure that you're prepared, and again, get you through the first couple of weeks to really ramp up with the technology and everything else, and the different delivery methods. And then we'll be doing things online where you can collaborate with other students, and there's different forms of group work and things like that. And using different mediums as well. So I'm not sure what might be going on.
I think, I think probably some of you are concerned whether or not, like, we're just gonna, make everything self-study. I don't think that's the case. It's definitely not for me, not for Tim. I don't think anyone in our faculty says for sure that they're doing self-study. There will be a time for us to meet, and it's in the schedule. We want that time because we want to try and, given the limitations with all this stuff, we want to engage with you guys and make sure that you guys are well prepared to kind of finish, to have a good semester.
Another question, Shannon?
Yeah, we'll get going with another question. I did just want to mention we are currently on the Thunder Bay campus. For those of you who are tuning in, you can see we have our beautiful Lake Tamblyn behind our business professors here, and it is a gorgeous day in Thunder Bay. So keep those questions coming in. We've already received a few, and I'll keep throwing them out there. We're going to do a little bit of a rapid fire, if that's okay. So
I just want to mention, hopefully we can all be here in the winter. And right there, there's always a hockey game going on. I'm sure there's a couple hockey fans that are coming in the first year. Or I've seen curling and just skating. Even you see in the summer and people fishing and canoeing, like right there, which is pretty cool. So.
Excellent. Okay, can you give us a few tips to help our students ensure they're successful with online learning in the business program?
I think the first thing you should do is make sure you're registered for all your classes, and make sure you have your Lakehead email, and make sure that you are registered to D2L. You should already, for the D2L, you should already be seeing some of your courses show up in there. If you're and with your email, that's usually how we would send out kind of group emails. Notifications to students is usually done with emails or through D2L. So you get signed up on those platforms, then you'll have a good head start. And plus, a lot of us teach with D2L, so you're going to be familiarizing yourself with the platform and things like that.
What is D2L for those students who don't know?
D2L, well, actually, it's mycourselink.lakeheadu.ca. And that is our learning management system. So if we post course materials, such as a course outline or an assignment, or maybe like a book chapter, or like some kind of supplementary material we want you to read, then we would put it on My Course Link, D2L. There's kind of two names for it here, but the correct name for it would be My Course Link. So mycourselink.lakeheadu.ca. Can we get that at the bottom?
Yeah, we'll send that out. We've done a lot of promotion on My Course Link via email and other social media posts. So if students haven't already signed up to online orientation, you should definitely log in to orientation.lakeheadu.ca, and you can find out more about what D2L is and several tutorials on how to actually use it. So we'll go to one of the next questions we got was on emailing instructors. Will we be able to access our instructors via email, and will they be able to help me?
Sure, we get emails all the time from students. And we have staff as well in the Faculty of Business Administration help with different pieces. It's really good to hear from students, because after we hear from 5 different students with the same issue, then we can figure out that that's an issue, and we figure out different ways to address it to make sure that the information is getting out. When we don't have the benefit of walking down the hallway or talking to someone else in the class about how to do a certain thing, we want to hear about it. We want to hear what the issues are, and we can address them, whether from the instructor, from the faculty, from the wider university, from student services. Again, we're all on the same team here. We want to engage with you. We want to know what the issues are. That's another reason we're doing this in July, early July, right? Mike and I usually, we've taught these courses a lot, so we launched them, and we traditionally launched them in a certain way, usually in the first class, in person. Well, we can't do that, so we're engaging earlier. We want to get you ramped up on how to use D2L, that you're comfortable with it. And we're going to launch, it'll be in August. We're going to be launching our sites. We're working on that, building it, integrating the two of them together with new project work. Again, we have lots of engagement opportunities for students to have these experiences with organizations, which really, as we say, beyond the textbook. You're actually applying the material from the course to a real-world situation. I'm looking at it from a pure management point of view. Mike's looking at kind of technological solutions to address problems. We're going to help you with things like the problem definition, figure out what the issues are, and this is part of the course and the learning process. So again, we're really looking this year at engaging with you and getting you engaged as early as possible, just so you're comfortable. When we transition to using Zoom and different other platforms, it's a couple of big learning curve, right? And people these days are generally quite technologically savvy. It's not a huge learning curve, and these platforms are actually evolving themselves to become more user friendly, and the pieces work together more seamlessly. We're all everything's moving forward this way. So we're here to engage with you, to lower your stress levels, so you understand that we're there for you, and the university's there for you as well.
Could you guys give us some examples of what kind of projects business students might be working on?
Well, this is actually something that I'm really excited that we're rolling out. For first year, it's evolved a lot. It's evolved a lot from something that's more, transactional, where we would just kind of do a presentation and, the student would, write a test and that was it. But it's a really big deal to get experiential learning experience. So you're actually experiencing business phenomena in the real world. So I'm always trying more and more and more each time I run a class to put more and more of that stuff in there. The project that Tim and I are working on now is,
tell them about your Salesforce stuff from last year.
Will you tell? Okay, his is going to be the first component, and then his is going to plug into mine. So he's going to go first, and then I'll.
Yeah. But tell them about your Salesforce stuff. That was really good last year.
Yeah. Okay, well, last year I ran Salesforce Labs, right? And it gave first year students real world experience with enterprise software, and by the first class, by the first lab, they created an app on their phones, and that was in September, right? So we ran those labs, and in the interest of kind of upping my game from last year, now what we're going to be doing is kind of you'll be doing Salesforce labs, but now you're going to be actually building a Salesforce project, right? So in Tim's class, you will be exploring a problem and defining it, right? You'll be assigned to groups, but each group is going to get a theme, and it's either going to be, I think, we might adjust these before the end of the summer, but it'll be small business, healthcare, education, industry, and city government, right? Because we have that's where our contacts and alumni are. So you're going to be assigned, and we're going to shoot videos with them, and we're going to have these videos that say, okay, well, they're interviews, right? How did the pandemic affect you, right? And then what did you do in response to it, right? So it's something that happened in the real world, something that's timely, it's something that's happening now. And then in Tim's class, you will be exploring and defining the problems that they were facing with regards to that. And then afterwards, in my class, I guess after reading week, before reading weeks with him, after reading week, you're going to take that insight that you've developed from that. Business insight is very important, right? Especially when you're defining problems and addressing problems. And then you're going to create an app to be able to, build off of the insight that you built on his, and then build the app and explain the problem, and then wrap it up in a 5-minute video, and that will be your final semester assignment for my class.
Yeah, it's because using the pieces from these courses to look and analyze problems is kind of the action of experiential learning and applying. Business is an applied discipline. They take ideas and apply them basically to organizations is typically what we do. You can look at for-profit businesses or not-for-profit. You can look at sole proprietorships or partnerships or corporations, different models. But it's really this practice. It's just applying what you've learned and then using it. And then through that is, you're learning, you're reflecting, you're submitting work. This is happening in all your business classes and something. We're kind of introducing the program as well as just what's happening in the fall. So again, the activity itself is engaging. It's better than just reading something and writing a test. Like those days are kind of over, as Mike alluded to. We understand it. We've been doing this. I teach the fourth year capstone strategy project, and we do projects with the city of Thunder Bay. We've been doing it for 4 years now, and to the point where you're engaging, like working with city managers, like shoulder to shoulder on different projects and stuff. So we're kicking that off for you in the fall, just getting kind of getting your feet wet with it, to try it, to see new modes of learning. Probably not the kind of thing you did in grade 12. You know what I'm saying? So we're working with you on that. And again, the challenge is like we've got so many different opportunities to look at. Kind of today we're dealing with a certain situation. What was it like before then? You're helping to map the future for these organizations and help them work through issues that, frankly, 6 or 10 months ago nobody even thought of. Right? So that is engaging. That's that. And using kind of you've got a perspective that organizations want to hear, right? You're the generation that's going to build and steer us out of this situation into the new realities, and we want to give you the tools to do that and engage you with organizations that want to hear from you, and that's fun. That's exciting learning.
If you can't be in Thunder Bay, or maybe you are in Thunder Bay right now, maybe you're an international student or from elsewhere in Canada. It's a way to connect you to our community. It's a way to connect you to people in the community, and if you're going to be, at FOBA virtually or in person for the next 4 years, then I think that's probably good to do something like that as well.
Okay, and just the last question coming through, can you tell us some of the business careers that your students have gone on to, what they might currently be doing?
I think
there's lots on our website, and part of the journey, the 4-year journey in a business program is figuring out what kind of career you want, right? So basically in the first 2 years of the business program there are some optional courses, but those are the building blocks, the foundational core of our program to expose you to all the different areas of business. So everybody takes 2 marketing courses, everybody takes 2 accounting courses, everybody takes human resources and organizational behavior and finance and economics and writing courses, communications courses too. So you get a well-rounded, first and foremost, it's an honors Bachelor of Commerce degree, it's a general business degree. And then after second year, everyone has to declare a major. So in the last 2 years of your program, you major in a specific area, you do higher level courses in that area, where you get into the real critical thinking, where and by that time, after second year, this is when you start to direct your career and understand, I'm going to study a certain area for 2 more years and become in some cases it goes on to align you for professional credentials beyond graduation, such as human resource professional designation or chartered accountant, professional accountant's designation. So these kind of things. So again, you're making those decisions along the way, but we're really trying to talk to you really about the beginning here, starting together, getting you exploring all these different areas. Some people come in with a very clear vision of what they want to do after graduation. Some people are there to explore. 4 years is a journey, right? I usually see students, a lot of people show up with one expectation, maybe it changes a little bit along the way. That's fine too, right? So again, you're gonna have access to different information. Again, career services is there to help you. Typically, after you've chosen a narrower career direction, you can do a lot of exploration and look at that, where you want to work, what you want to do, what kind of a position you want to pursue. We're here along the way to help, obviously, and direct you to the right services, but there's lots of resources to help you.
the majors at our faculty are accounting, finance, information systems, soon to be information systems and business analytics. There's what else? Human resources, marketing,
Business economics,
business economics, international business.
General management.
There's a lot of options, and like Tim said, the first 2 years is trying to kind of figure out what exactly you want. No matter what you choose, a business degree is a good thing. And for all the graduates that we see do well in business, they do well in their careers. and it doesn't really matter what major they take and what they take at the end of the day. Some people, they keep on with the same career. Some people, they switch it up a little bit. That's okay too, right? It's kind of the modern world, but if you have a base as a kind of a, if you do well in a business degree, 4-year business degree, then you can pretty much choose whatever you want to do after that.
Excellent. Any final words for our incoming business students?
Well, we're just looking forward to engaging with you. You know, this is a new way. Mike and I haven't made videos like this before. We're engaging with you early. We want to hear what your issues are. A lot of the questions that you send in are important for us to understand what you're facing, what you think some key issues are. We want to communicate with you. You know, we're being as flexible as we can. You know, we want to deliver a high quality education. You know, the Faculty of Business Administration is AACSB accredited. We're in the top 5% of business schools in the world with that kind of quality label. And we know what we have to do. We might have to do it in a slightly different way. Again, we're partners in this. We're only successful if you're successful. So we want to know what the issues are. We want to work together. We have degrees of flexibility. We want to hear what the issues are, collaborate with each other, and hopefully give you the best learning experience possible.
Yeah, I think Tim said it. We want to engage early. We want to make sure that you guys are excited for the fall, even given the circumstances. And we want to, and to be honest, this has given us an opportunity to do things that we, wouldn't necessarily do otherwise. So, we can do a lot more with using technology and merging our classes and getting a really interesting project for you guys and everything like that. So, we're working hard to prep for the fall. It's been a busy summer for us, but at the same time, I'm really hopeful for it. And it's going to be the first semester for the next 4 years for everybody here, and I think I'm hoping that it's going to set the bar higher for the 4 years after that. I think there was another question on here about software.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. What computer software do you need for the program?
Well, typically a good word processor like Microsoft Word or Excel, like those are mainstays in business. But I think a lot of the work now is being done with Google Docs and Google Sheets. So I think, given the situation, typically there would be labs on campus that you would access if you didn't have a laptop yourself. There's the issue of, do you like Mac or do you like PC? Well, there's about half and half of students that own a laptop. Half of them own Macs, half of them own PCs, and it's hard to say. Some software might not work on another. Now that we're in this situation, I think that we're going to do our best to make everything via cloud. Google Docs should be good enough for a lot of classes. For my classes personally, Salesforce, it's a cloud. Salesforce.com if you want to get a head start and look at it. It's cloud-based, so there's really nothing that you have to install. You just kind of have to sign up for an account. And I think this semester, myself, Tim, and I can't speak for everyone else 100%, but I think everyone's saying, okay, we're going to move to the cloud because we don't have lab and we can't really have any control over what we install.
A lot of instructors will use the D2L system because it's not Gmail, Google. Some students from overseas in certain countries have trouble accessing the Google Suite, so D2L doesn't cause that problem. So D2L is what Lincoln University uses through my course link. Anything else, Shannon?
No, I think that's it. Thank you both so much for joining me on this really warm afternoon. Just a reminder for all of our incoming students to log on to orientation.lakeheadu.ca to start your online orientation. It's full of great information. A lot of FAQs are available for you to get answers to questions that you might be looking for. And if there's something that we didn't address today for all incoming business students, feel free to send an email to ssc@lakeheadu.ca and we'll ensure that it gets to your faculty. If you have any additional questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out at any time via social media. You can also send us an email, contact us on Facebook or Twitter, and we will respond. So thanks for joining us, everyone.